Good afternoon and welcome to level 300. We've managed to make our way through the first two terms of drawing. If you're here now, it means you've passed your review of 100 and 200 and completed those anatomy drawings, the Vanderpool and the Bridgman. If, for those of you working at home, make sure that before advancing to this stage of the program, you've at least gone through the Bridgman drawings and the Vanderpool drawings. Because if we don't have a general idea of what we're looking at here, you're going to spend a lot more time with the model, and you may waste a lot more time with the model. We need to know what to look for again, and we need to be sensitive to all the little things that we're going to see. So make sure those drawings are completed. The way that this term is going to be structured is a little bit different than our previous terms. The first term, we were all kind of babied. I would come around, I would really fix a lot of your problems or point out where you were going astray and start to encourage you to make those checks on your own as you work your way through observational drawing. And then second term, I was encouraging everybody to sort of think about what they were seeing. You know, we were focusing on a few different problems. We were learning to do the notan. We were working on anatomy with those anatomy drawings. A lot of stuff floating around in the air. Also, even just getting comfortable with the process of working with the figure for the first time and doing all of those boxes and schemes and getting a good solid foundation for a figure drawing. That was a big focus of second term, sort of trying to get all this theoretical knowledge and perhaps merge it to what we did in term one. And there was a lot of me hovering around, helping you, checking your measurements, etc., etc. So this term is going to be a bit different. This term, you're not spoon-fed the answer. This is the real deal in here. I'm wanting you to do most of this drawing on your own, and you're going to be responsible for checking your own drawing. So I will be watching, and I will be here for help as well. But I'm not going to be swooping in as much to fix your drawing. Instead, I may come up behind you and say something like, "Oh, you need to check the leg, it doesn't look believable." And when I say that, you can't use the excuse, "the model moved." That's the first excuse everybody gives. As we've talked about before, that should be irrelevant at this point. If the model moves a little bit, we keep to the scheme that we've established, and then we lock it in there. Lock in the drawing based off of our previous scheme and off of our observation of the model and off of our knowledge of anatomy. So we can't use that excuse. We always have to check our answering shapes. Remember the back side of a shape and the front side of a shape. Always check those answering shapes. But it's just going to be me suggesting, for the most part, that you check areas. And you have to go through your whole checklist, your plums, your levels, your triangulation, your knowledge of anatomy, etc. Pull out the books if you need to and get the right answer. That's the goal. By the end of this term, theoretically, you should be relatively self-sufficient in a drawing, to the point where you could just have anybody you know come up to a drawing and say something like, "Oh, something around there looks strange," and then you should have the skill set to be able to go and investigate what it is and be able to correct it. So that's kind of what we're working on this term. Portraits on our Tuesday class, figure on our Thursday class, but the process is going to be the same. So that's what we can look forward to. And when you're working at home, that's the only feedback you're going to have might be somebody you know or live with, and you're going to have to work through those issues. If something looks wrong, we can't just say that that's how the reference looks. Our job now is to go above and beyond that and to make something that looks understandable and believable and aesthetically pleasing. So let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to do for portrait, CDC 301.